Welcome, everybody, to another barrel selection that we'll be doing as part of Bourbon Pursuit and along with our Patreon community. And tonight, well, I'm going to be alone tonight on the Bourbon Pursuit side. Ryan is down having a little vacation in the state that has probably the most outbreaks of coronavirus that we've seen so far. So I guess fingers crossed he comes back fine. Other than that, hopefully we'll be good there. But tonight we'll be selecting a Jack Daniel's rye barrel. So I'm pretty excited for this. Ryan said he tasted through them already. He didn't even tell me which one he liked the best, but he said that we're in for a treat tonight. I haven't tried them yet, so I'm excited to see what these are all going to be about. And before we get into it, people are going to ask, "Oh, is it going to get barrel proof?" No, they just announced they'll be doing a barrel proof offering. These will be bottled at 94 proof, which is exactly the proof that we have here with us tonight. So. Here we go. So with that, let's go ahead and get started introducing our tasters and our panelists who will be helping select this Jack Rye barrel tonight. So, of course, you all know me. I'm Kenny, part of Bourbon Pursuit. So I'll start with the first one up here. Steven, go ahead and tell everybody who you are, where you're from. And then our question for the night is, what is your favorite item that you've purchased this year?
So my name's Steven. I'm coming from Southern California. My favorite item.
It could be like a random Corona purchase. It could be just something that you just been
probably
saving up for.
My dual monitor setup. I finally got going for my computer because I've been working from home. So,
man, I couldn't survive without survive without dual monitor. I think I've had a dual monitor setup for like almost like 15 years now. It's just I've even had like triple monitors at one point.
Yeah, I'm just getting on the bandwagon. So I mean, I'm just catching up.
Good deal. Well, it's good. And then you have real estate. You can move windows around, and you've got just all kinds of things everywhere. Well, how big did you go though? That's the second question.
227s.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, so it's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. All right, Josh, you're next.
Hey, I'm Josh Hart from Wyoming originally, living in North Dakota right now. My favorite item I bought so far would be a travel pack, hiking/travel pack for vacation or running up the mountain.
Are you a big outdoors person?
I try to be. It's kind of hard. There's not much for mountains in North Dakota, so I get back to Wyoming whenever I can.
Sounds good. So you hiker, biker? What's your
hiking?
What's your take? Yeah. You go all out? Do you have like a whole backpack full of like ropes and like hooks and stuff and like anything like that?
No. A pair of walking sticks is about as adventurous as I get. Not a fan of vertical heights, so if it's got a slope to it, I'll try it.
There you go. Me too. I'll stay away from heights. I'm not even a fan of roller coasters. That's how much I don't like heights. All right, Jamie, take it off next for us.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm in San Francisco, and I couldn't imagine what my favorite thing in the year was, but my favorite thing this week was an ice crusher. As I recently discovered tiki cocktails as a fun way to survive COVID, and banging on ice with a mallet is time-consuming and challenging. So an ice crushing machine is fantastic.
That's cool. Tell me more about an ice crushing machine. I mean, does it end up like making the cubes like? You ever go to like Sonic and the particular like Sonic Ice or something like that?
Sonic Ice is like the Nirvana perfection of crushed ice, and I don't think in reading about the cocktail community, I don't think anyone's achieved that other than them. But the crushing machine makes pieces that are a little bit bigger than Sonic and pretty consistent, and not like you can do with a mallet where half of them end up like
chips,
snow, fuzz, and other things are much bigger.
Yeah. So you got a favorite tiki cocktail so far?
So far, it's still the Mai Tai.
Solid. You switching up, making like some bourbon Mai Tais or anything like that?
Oh, I've been mixing them up. I've made a conscientious effort to go through the kind of tiki repertoire and have made conservatively 60 different tiki drinks in the last month.
Oh, wow. Not messing around.
Not at all.
Awesome. All right, Josh, round it out for us.
Josh Weaver, St. Joseph, Missouri, Northwest. Best thing I've bought this year is a new set of wedges.
Oh, new wedges.
New set of wedges, yeah.
Oh, there you go. You playing in the rough a lot?
Yeah, gotta have them. Not on the green very often.
Well, I'm sure you know Ryan's a big golfer too. I try to get out there every once in a while, but I'm horrible. I just have to just admit it where it is. But my daughter's taking
good, but
well, it's what everybody said that if you want to play a little bit better, go and buy clubs that are actually fitted for you, and see, like, I think maybe that's my next move is just chuck down some money and make that happen. Yeah.
Or get yours fitted to you. Yeah, it's worth it.
I don't know. My experience is you can't buy a game. You just have to play more.
Yeah.
It's true. It's all about the technique. It's all about the technique and stuff like that. For sure. All right. So let's go ahead and start getting down to it. So we've got 3 barrel samples with us tonight. And let's go in numerical order. I believe I don't even know. So it's funny, like I got these things. I'm like, I don't even know like how I'm supposed to like put, or I was trying to talk to anybody to see the label with this camera not focusing correctly. There it is. So it's like the only thing that's like discerning is like this like 2001382. I don't know if it's a barrel number. I don't know anything. Because that was the only thing that was, I think, different between all of them was well, actually, no, there was a QC number and the one number below that. So there was this number 2637, and then you have this whole random row of digits, and then you got QC number. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I wrote on your all's everything that started with 2001, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So we'll go in that order. We'll go 2001, 382, 389, and then 90. So then we kind of have a numerical order going here. So, all right, let's. I'll start pouring here. So as everybody kind of knows, these are going to be bottled at 94 proof. Jack Daniel's has recently announced that they will be having a barrel proof rye offering coming to the market, which, hold on, let me grab it real quick. All right. There we go. So they actually have a barrel proof rye that's available. You can get this at the gift shop, and it is fantastic. I mean, it's awesome. So if they ever start opening this up to the private selection community, I mean, it's just going to go bonkers. I mean, I think at this point, everybody has, well, not everybody. Some people have found the joy that is the Jack Daniel's barrel proof.
Mm-hmm.
So people are starting to come around to that finally. All right. Oops. I'll pour my third one here. All right. Time to get nosing. So if you pull out something, let it be known, because the person who's usually responsible for figuring out all the good aromas is Ryan, and he's not here with us tonight. So I need somebody who's good as a pinch hitter here.
A little vanilla. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm getting that whole range of French toast with vanilla, syrup, and cinnamon all at the same time.
There we go.
I like that French toast. I get that.
I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan of French toast. So if we can do a French toast barrel, I'm in for that. What's going on, everybody in the chat? I'm seeing a lot of names pop up here. I'll start putting your name up here if you're saying hey. So Ryan's thing is he always matches it with some kind of cereal. I'll try to pinch it for him and see if I can find a good cereal. No promises tonight though.
Oh man.
Anybody get any dried fruit or?
I do on the nose for sure. I'm getting ready to take my first sip here.
Oh.
I'll tell you what. It's not a typical rye, like at all. It's definitely fruity.
Yeah.
I think the finish just falls a little short.
Not much for mouthfeel on my end.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I agree.
If I had to pick a fruit, I'd give it like a dried cherry. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe falling over into strawberry. It's a little sweeter than a standard cherry.
Mm-hmm.
But I totally agree. Very little finish and a little thin in the mouth.
There's some really good notes in there. A little bit of oak, leather towards the back of the palate.
Yep.
I'm not getting anything that's, as you said, there's good flavor there, but there's nothing that's like overly mouth coating or anything like that. The flavor of the finish kind of dies off quickly. I'm getting a little bit of proof burn, but only probably because it's like my first drink of the day, so maybe that's why.
Not a lot of spice for a rye. Not spicy.
No, it's more fruity than anything, that's for sure. So the samples are proofed. Yes, so these will be at the bottling proof, which is 94 is what we have for you tonight. And yes, if we chose this one, it would be a super, super fruity rye. Now, if I wish it tasted like Cinnamon Toast Crunch all the way through, but that didn't happen.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna start on number 2 now. Almost get more like a honey or honeysuckle on it on the nose. Definitely oak.
Getting a little caramel.
Yep.
I like the nose on the first one better.
Yeah, there's not much going on the nose on the second one at all. A little bit of caramel and brown sugar, but very, very pale almost.
I get the brown sugar, that's for sure. A little more spice on the finish here. Let's see, sweet oak or tannic oak? I'd say it's more tannic oak. It's still sweet by the end of the day, but it's just a little more tannic, I think. Which, you know, we've talked about a lot of stuff at Jack before. There's not a lot of stuff here that's over 6 years old, so I would imagine that these aren't going to be much different. A lot of this can be less than 6 years old, which is surprising for how good this stuff is.
A little bit better finish, a little longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Bitter, a little bit of oak, a little bit of tannic.
Mm-hmm.
A little more spice.
Yep. Jamie, you're getting a shout out over here. Represent San Francisco Whiskey and Bourbon and Scotch Society.
There we go. It's a great club.
There's your endorsement, everybody. Go join now. We're in San Fran, exactly. I'm there a few times a year.
Oh, after 15 years in the middle of the city, I moved to the suburbs not long ago.
Yeah.
But our club spans the whole Bay Area.
There you go.
You get kind of a bubblegum finish to it.
Ooh, okay. I got to go back and see if I get that bubble gum now.
On the second one.
More on the finish, though.
Yeah, I kind of get that, I guess.
Almost like that powder that's on the bubble gum or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep. So there's a little bit of fruit going on in there, that's for sure. Let's see. Do I have a regular Jack Rye to compare with? I don't. I was showing earlier though that I do have Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye. We got this when we did our Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof selection. This was available at the gift shop at the distillery. And this one was 127.6 proof. So, yowzers. That'll get you. There we go. All right. I'm going to start nosing number 3 now. And then I'll just have to start going back to them. I like this one too. A little bit more honey on it.
This one feels a lot more like what I expect the standard rye to be like. There's more rye spice right on the nose.
Yep.
Almost get a little citrus, maybe.
Yep. Definitely on the nose. Almost like I get like a custard cream. I don't know what it is, but it's like those, like the Long John donuts and that cream that goes in the middle, like whatever that is. I'm getting a little bit on that nose there. Let's see if it translates to the palate, though.
It's there.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Much longer finish than the other two.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bavarian cream. That's what I was going for.
Yeah, there's a pastry element to it for sure.
But always, pastry and citrus and honey with that rye, piney kind of bite to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that rye spice burn, on a basic level more than the other two. But the finish is definitely longer too.
Yeah. I like the finish.
Oh, bourbon for the masses. Thinking of Van Wilder. I know that scene vividly. I remember the English bulldog and the Bavarian cream donut. So
Yeah. Third one almost looks like it's got a darker color to it too.
Let's see. Well, I'll put them to the camera and see anything. Now to say number 3 is the winner. Remember, we got to go back and retry all these. So it's always a thing. You start with it, and you never know. Like, let's see if I get down there. You never know. It could be. I'd say the color is pretty similar in both of them. It's really not too much difference.
Yeah, I can't tell much.
Almost get a little bit of a donut on it, a little bit of pastry. Kind of like that Bavarian cream comment, though. I kind of get that a little bit. When you think about it, you're like, oh, yeah, maybe that's what it is. But it's,
the thing is, between
like
them,
a sweet
though,
vanilla.
you've got to dig for that Bavarian cream in the third one. Right?
Mhm.
It's definitely there, but it's plays second fiddle to the rye spice.
yeah,
The
I
first
agree.
one, the first one, the fruit is way up on top.
Yeah.
They're very, very different.
Yep. All right, there's.
Yeah, the first one is really unique. Different than.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to number 1 now. See, now it's fun. You go through them all, and then you go through them again, and then you go through them again, and you just keep changing your mind until somebody convinces you that that's the right one to choose. This number 1's got a really good nose on it.
Yeah.
I must have missed Josh's facial expressions on this one on number 3. What was it?
Man, I don't know. Number 1 is if the finish was longer.
Yeah.
I like everything else about it. Like
A barrel-proof version of number 1 would be
Yeah.
fantastic, right?
I'll go back and try 3 here. See what face I make.
One definitely has like a cinnamon taste and characteristic to it. Everybody was talking about Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Like I really want that to come back and be the flavor I get out of it. But I'm getting like the cinnamon, maybe a little bit of French toast, but not the crunch. Crunch is definitely not there. I think the finish sticks around a little bit longer after I've made it through all three.
On the first one,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I keep hoping for is a little more.
Yep. Let's suck around a little bit more. Jordan, I wish we gave you a crunchy bourbon. Not too sure if it's going to happen this time. That was not the question I meant to click on. All right. I'm going to try number 2 again, number 89. I'm just going to go nose between 1 and 2 here. You all pulling up any differences?
Oh, two is just not pleasant for me. Too much of the fresh cut pine logs and sappiness. I don't know.
I get a little bit of that. Sappiness is a good characteristic for it.
I'm really liking number 1.
Well, you know, when it comes down to this, it's going to be like a game of, you know, like a lawsuit practice. You got to sit there and like present your case, try to convince the rest of the jury that we need to go for number 1.
Yeah, I don't get much off of 2's nose at all compared to 1's nose.
The taste on 2, I think what we were talking about earlier, it's still there. It's still bitter and tannicky. I don't think I'm a fan of the aftertaste on 2, that's for sure. At least that's where I stand. Somebody else might be like, hey, I love it. And usually I'm usually the one that loves oak. Like I love tannins, and this one's just not doing it for me. Because there's some nights I'd rather have something that's like more butterscotchy, something like that. And there's other nights I want like a 15-year-old bourbon, and then tonight might just not be that night.
I think it's missing the good aspects of tannin, that kind of punchy, slightly sour, slightly acidic that wakes you up. It doesn't have that. It just has all the bad parts of tannin.
It disappears before you get to know it.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, that is awesome. All the bad parts of tannin. All right, well, I'll try one more time just for science, just to make sure. There's a bitterness to it. There's probably some nights I could get around to it. Maybe not tonight, though. I don't know. How weird would it be if that was like Ryan's favorite? And we were just like, sorry, man.
Did he pick a favorite?
I could text him real quick. I'll be like, hey, if you chose a favorite, let me know. I'll add it to the votes here. All right. We'll see if he responds back. He's on vacation, so at 9:30, kids are in bed. He's probably with his wife sitting on a patio or at the whatever they're staying at, probably smoking a cigar and having a drink. He's probably gonna get that, and he's like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna join it real quick," and she's gonna get pissed. Let's see. Adam Terry said number 2 sounds like you're licking a pine cone. Well, I don't know, Jamie. What do you think? You're the one who you had the really
I've
good.
got the strongest opinion on that one so far.
You sure
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, it's kind of like getting force fed a pine cone, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Don't need to go there again.
All right, Ryan just sent me his favorites. I'll save that reveal for the end. Good thing his vote doesn't count because he's not here. Besides, we got odd numbers tonight, so it'd be tough, I think, to come even on this one.
Oh yeah.
All right. Got to go back to noses on 1 and 3 now. So we got 47 people tuned in so far. Like 8 people in the chat. So come and bring questions if you got questions or just want to rag about something. I don't know. Whatever. Just make it happen.
3 definitely is the longer finish, but it's not bad. It's just kind of like a lot of rise. I think I've had just kind of a nice spice finish, but
You think too predictable? Is that what you're thinking?
I mean, it's just it's not as unique, and I don't have a professional palate, but it just doesn't stand out quite as much as maybe one's case does. Although the finish is definitely really short on one.
Mm-hmm. It's like going back to number 3. I'm like, I can't even dig out the Bavarian cream anymore.
It's interesting. I don't think if I had either 1 or 3 blind, I would necessarily pick it out as a rye.
No,
I would probably guess was a high rye bourbon. Number 1, I might not even guess was rye at all.
That's what, none of them have those like typical dill or whatever kind of what Ryan likes to call pickle characteristics to them. None of them have any of that going on. Doug says you don't seem very excited about any of them. Sorry, it's Monday. We're trying to get ramped up a little bit. No, they're. I mean, honestly, they're all 3 really good whiskeys. We're just trying to figure out which one's the best one.
The first 2 characteristics, the nose and the palate, on number 1, I really liked that little bit of cherry, the big French toast with the syrup and the brown sugar all together in there. I think is really, really good. I wish it had a longer finish. But wow, it tastes great.
And that might just be a factor of being 94 proof or something. Yeah, that's why. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Are you likely to pass on a barrel with Patreon involvement? No, because actually we have before, and that was never aired live. It was done here in this basement and only aired to Patreon people. We will likely never do a barrel selection with Patreon folks that we know that we're never going to come away with something. We always try to vet stuff as much as possible.
Oh, he's getting his comfy chair.
Sorry, moving to it's a little quieter.
Get the comfy chair, stretchy pants on.
There we go.
Let's see. So number 1 is trending sweet and 3 is classic. I'd say that might be about right. I don't even know if number 3 is like, it's not totally classic. Like I said, there are some rye characteristics, but none of these like scream, 95.5 MGP either.
Yeah, it's definitely not that sweet MGP ride like that.
No.
And I really like the nose on 1.
Mm-hmm.
keep going back to that nose.
All right, I'm coming back to number 3, and I can dig out that. Like I said, I took a drink of water. I can kind of dig out the Bavarian cream a little bit now.
I keep getting the citrus on 3.
Yep, I agree. I mean, I think it's still fruity at the end of the day. That's for sure. All right, I'm gonna go back to number 2 to get just to make sure we're not crazy here.
And the citrus on 3 is really nice. It's not like a harsh biting citrus at all. More like a sweet citrus, like a Meyer lemon.
Yeah. Wait, a what lemon?
Meyer. The
I'm
ones they
sorry.
got in Fort Lauderdale or Key West.
Oh, okay. I was going to say I'm not at the speed with all that, I guess. Let's see. What's the mash bill? I don't know. My Google flu's not going on right now. So if you just Google Jack Daniel's rye mash bill, you might be able to find it. I don't know if they say it or not. I tell you what, I think the nose on 2 has got to be the strongest.
Agreed.
Yes. Though not necessarily in a good way.
Hey. Watch that tone there, Jamie. I'll kick you out of here.
I've got opinions.
I'm just kidding. I just think like the number 2, the nose just has a depth to it. Something, whatever it is. The nose is there. Number 2's also got it's a punch of spice. There's still a lot of tannins on it, but there's a punch of spice. That's for sure. I guess it just depends what you want now. I don't even know if I can like clearly eliminate one at this point. Let's see. Adam Terry says, any banana notes? I don't really think I'm getting any banana on these ryes. Banana is pretty prominent in their bourbon offering, but let's see. Jordan says this is what the breakdown is. And if it's coming from Breaking Bourbon, I'll trust those guys. They know what they're doing sometimes. Oh, gosh. All right. This is getting harder as we go. Because I'm actually kind of coming back around to number 2 a little bit. Jamie's not. He's already written it off. I can tell.
Completely written it off. Every time you say that, I go back and nose it again, and I'm like, no, it still's not.
Like, that guy's off his rocker. All right, I'm going to put more.
It gets harder to notice that the finish on 1 doesn't last as long because the finish on 3 keeps going.
Yeah.
One's overriding the other.
All right, I'm going to go back to 3 again.
It's a tough one.
I would say if there's any banana notes, it's got to be in 3 in the nose, and that's about it. And maybe it's sounding like pure banana. Maybe it's like one of those like the dried like banana chips. You know what I'm saying? You like get it like Whole Foods or whatever in those packages. Steven, you've been quiet up there, man. You gotta let us know what you're thinking too.
I have been. Sorry, I have my mic muted because a baby's crying in the background.
Well, I want you to make sure you're having fun here. It's okay. We all got kids. We know what that life is like.
No, I'm kind of with Jamie a little bit on the not a big fan of 2.
I can get behind it.
I don't know.
I might call you crazy, but I can get behind it.
Like I like the nose of one, the finish of three. Put them together, and
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I'm gonna find another glass and make a blend.
There you go. You can do it. Doesn't mean we're going to be able to do it, but you can. More than welcome to do it if you want. Is there an approximate cost on the bottle yet? No, we will not know that for a while. I mean, as John says, has to be less than $50. I don't know. Whatever the shelf version of Jack Daniel's rye is, it'll probably be pretty close to that. So wouldn't get too worried about it. Not yet. Buy both barrels. Buy both of them and call it a DIY rye. Honestly, I don't know if we can get both barrels or not. I know I'm not going to press my luck on the Brown Forman people this time. They actually had to take these samples, and if memory calls me correctly, they had to ship them from California to here, and then I had to go and pick them up at like the distributor's offices. It's crazy how it all worked out, but it didn't even come directly from Lynchburg.
I never seen plastic sample bottles before.
Man, I'm a huge fan of the plastic sample bottles because
Easier shipping.
Yes, it's easier on shipping. As you can tell, like I was able to just pack them in like a poly mailer. I didn't have to put them in like a whole box and worry about a bunch of bubble wrap. Now the plastic ones are that's the way I go from now on. I don't really do the glass ones too much anymore, and they're the same exact price, maybe even a little bit cheaper. And they're whatever pet. I'm not in the medical profession, but apparently it doesn't exude any like chemicals out of it or anything like that too. So should be safe, quote unquote. Should be.
I wouldn't doubt it for long term. Unfortunately, my sample backlog is way too big, so I wouldn't keep anything in them for months like I normally do.
So you all are saying number 2's out. Is that what you all are? We gonna concur on that one? I know Jamie is. Jamie's a hater. He's just gonna get you.
I wouldn't give it a full thumbs down, but like a
3/4 down.
I give it a sideways thumbs. I think it's still pretty good.
Actually, don't mind the nose on it.
I think number 2, the nose is the most prominent out of all of them.
Agreed.
I think the
Yeah,
finish.
most of my part.
Yeah, I think the taste is it's got tannic there, a little bit bitter, but I will go with the crowd on this one. So let's go ahead. We'll eliminate number 2. So we'll do that. John's asking are you guys in Discord? We need these guys in Discord. So,
I don't think I am.
there you go. John, there you go. John's
I'm not
our
very much, but I'm there.
there you go. John's our Discord admin. He keeps it all running healthily. Keeps the
I've got a code name in Discord.
he keeps the banter lively. It's good. Let's see. So Harb, if you didn't check in earlier, yes, they already do a barrel proof rye. I have one right here actually. I got this at the gift shop earlier this year when we were doing our barrel proof bourbon selection, and then it hit the TTB about 2 weeks ago that they will be coming out with a nationwide barrel proof rye release as well, and that just means it's a matter of time until they're doing a barrel proof rye barrel selection. All right, so it's down between 1 and 3. Barrel 2001 382 and 2001 390. I would say start putting the votes and tell them in your head, and then we'll do a raised hands here at the end and see who likes what. And if you have a way to plead your case on what you think is the best and what people should vote for, speak now. It's way to start swaying your votes. So I'll start swaying mine here real quick. Plus, I'm easily manipulated. I'll be the worst person on a jury ever. I'll be like, oh, he totally did it. No, he's innocent. He's innocent. All right, between 1 and 3 on the nose, what are your most favorite characteristics out of each? Go.
I still get like vanilla on the nose on 1, although I like 1's nose better than 3's.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, number 3, you can dig for it. There's that creaminess that's there. If it's a Bavarian cream, nice. But I can definitely get a creaminess, like some sort of like a vanilla cupcake frosting on it on the nose. On number 3. Number 1, a little more fruity. Maybe almost like a hint of lemon or lime on the nose. And then again, my nose might be shocked right now because I'm just like inhaling alcohol for like the past 40 minutes.
They're starting to blend a little bit
The nose
here.
is starting to get a little harder to differentiate, but I'm still getting a little bit of that brown sugar, French toast. Less cherry now. It's harder to pull the cherry out from number 1, but I'm still getting a little bit of it.
Yeah, I can get a French toast and some maple syrup at number 1. There we go. Guess Josh, you look really confused after my notes there.
I was trying to figure out if with my vanilla is your French toast.
I'm here to confuse people.
I know those two things don't sound like they smell the same, but I think that's the same thing that I'm calling vanilla.
The thing that I call French toast, some people call Cinnabon.
Cinnabon. Yeah, kind of like that. Doughy. Yeah, I'm with you.
Man, I haven't had a Cinnabon in so long. I don't know.
We just need an orange Julius to complete the trifecta.
It's just all going to be like shopping mall, like food court sort of stuff here. And I honestly can't remember the last time I had a Cinnabon. I used to work at the mall when I was in high school growing up. I used to work at a Finish Line, the shoe store, and right across from Finish Line was the Cinnabon. And whenever we'd close out, like you'd close out for the night, lock up the gates, whatever, and Cinnabon, the people there at night, I mean, they had stuff that they didn't sell or whatever, and so anything that didn't sell, they would just put in boxes and just put on the counter, and anybody who was there could just take it. And so whenever I closed, I took home like 1 or 2 like big things of Cinnabons. I mean, no wonder I had to lose a ton of weight in high school, but that was. I do remember getting those, and I was like, "Oh, these are so delicious." That might have been the last time I had a Cinnabon, to be honest with you. There's your sticker, food court.
Food court.
Yeah. Oh, fast food restaurants after closing are a lot of fun.
I would say if we go with the sticker, food court, there's got to be like a Sbarro in there somewhere too. I don't know if any of these scream like a big slice of pie that's been sitting out for 4 hours, but
or Italian meatballs.
Yeah.
I'm still getting all of those good French toast cherry things in the nose and palate for number 1.
Yep.
Number 2 is still getting the kind of mildly sweet citrus custard stuff in the nose and the palate. That's real good. It's got a longer finish. 1 has an unfortunately short finish. but I think for me the taste is weighing out ahead. So I'm leaning towards number one.
Yeah, I mean they're both really good, but I mean one's just nice. Like it's easy drinking too, because that finish just kind of fades away, and you just want to take another sip right away.
Panda Express. Forgot about Panda Express. All right, I got it. All right, I'm just gonna finish the rest of my samples here for 1 and 3, just to make sure. Doubly sure. I feel confident going into the vote here. Said 40 said one must be a guzzler. 94
Yeah,
proof. 94 proof.
Mine's
They all
almost
might,
gone.
they all might be
Yeah.
guzzlers.
Yeah, it's gonna either 1 or 3 is gonna be a bottle that goes quickly.
I definitely get. I mean, if we choose one, I think we call it Cinnabon. The name, the nose alone, I'm getting that cinnamon, some of that vanilla frosting. Maybe we call it food court because it just has a good finish of marinara sauce from Sbarro. Just kidding.
Yeah, it is an easy drinker though. I mean, the finish is almost there's almost nothing going on, but it's quick, and then you're ready for another go.
Absolutely, you have to keep drinking it to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the introduction, and on the first one, but the lasting effect on 3 is definitely that.
Number 3, I still get this this doughiness, that vanilla icing. Maybe it's Bavarian cream, whatever it is. And I see people like cream cheese frosting. Something. I mean, there's something in 3 that I get that kind of like frosting nose out of it for sure.
Just kind of like the really sweet vanilla.
Yep. I don't know who Susan Elmore is, but she just blew up the chat with some spam. I figured it's cool just to show it anyway. So, what the hell, right? No idea what that is, but cool. We're getting spam. We made it. We're legit. I mean, what do you get the finish between 1 and 3? Do you have a favorite between that? I think
3's finish is a lot better.
But 3's got to finish, and it's a nice one. 1,
Yeah.
You got that great palate, and it goes right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3's more well-rounded or more complete.
Oh, the decisions here. Yeah, but number 1's definitely got a little more like finesse to it, if you will. It's a tough one. All right. One last quick sip of water, and then I've got to go in for the one last go. And then, so if you have the number that you know in your head, go ahead and keep it in your head, and we'll come up with the votes here in a second. If you'd like to be the seller for one of these, go ahead and put it out there. See if you can't make a convert out of somebody here on this panel. I like one. One has a creamier finish. It's still good. Like I said, if you're in for a creamy kind of bourbon, I think that's not bourbon, rye whiskey. Sorry, forgot what we're doing tonight.
But it is a much more bourbon-y rye. It kind of fits.
Mm-hmm. Adam Terry says, buy both, blend them, Bavarian cream Cinnabon. Wish we could. I think we only been allocated one. Jack is a little bit of a different animal.
I've got a blend now of 1 and 3.
All right, well, tell me if it's a Bavarian cream Cinnabon.
No, the blend is less good than either of the parts. I'm firmly I'm going to land on number 1.
We know where you're at, Jamie. We know where your head's at.
For a minute there, it was close. I was close to number 3 there. The that creamy Meyer lemon, not too sweet, not too citrusy, but the finish just drew me in there for 3. But I think if I had to pick one, number 1 is the one I'd want a bunch of bottles of. I just really like that slightly cherry Cinnabon thing.
All right. Don't influence the people too much. We're getting ready to go to our final vote, baby.
Told them to sell it.
Sell it, not just say exactly what you wanted. I'm just giving you shit. It's all good. All right. Gentlemen, do you have a vote in your head of which one you like the most?
Yep.
Okay. So let's start with the back of the pack. Anybody like number 2 the best? Nobody. All right. So big old X on that one. All right. So raise your hand if number 1 was your favorite. Oh, buddy. Josh.
I was only 70-30 on number 3, so
I'll tell you what, man. Number 3, I think for me, I was actually leading up to number 3 towards like the very, very end. I think what sold me on number 1 was like the creaminess finish after going through these like 90 different times. So if anybody buys the bottle, you got to go through like 90 different ryes until you get to this one. And then you'll be like, oh, this is super creamy. And you're like, yes, I totally remember. I think that's what sold me at the very end. I was actually leaning towards 3 up until like the last round, only because of I thought number 3 had clearly like a better finish, but it also had this like a bite, like a rye bite that you get out of it versus number 1, which I don't think you'd find that anywhere else.
Yeah, the uniqueness of one is what, like, hard to say one was better than the other. If I can only buy one bottle, I liked how different one was than most things on my shelf.
I would have probably got to 1 winning, but I actually ran out of one. So.
Well, that's the sign right there. You
There you go.
Good.
Now, you didn't cheat before this and had them before we started, did you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just had to keep tasting it to get to know it a little bit, and that might have got me in trouble a little bit there. So.
All right. Do y'all want to know what Cecil chose? He actually chose number 2 as his favorite.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. So he said he was torn between 82 and 89, but liked 89 the best. So
Really?
it's between 1 and 2, and he chose 2, but number 1 prevails for this evening. So there we go. How about it, guys? So number 1, what we could be able to see here relatively soon, barrel 2001, 382. If you ask me anything else that's on there on this label, I am not going to know. I don't know what rick house, what floor, what anything. I can just tell you the lot number, which is 15A-23, which is what all of these are from. It's the same exact lot number. So amazing how 3 different barrels, all from the same lot, how they ended up. So, all right. Guys, stick around here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and start closing out the stream, but I want to say thank you again for everybody that tuned in live tonight, being able to watch this Jack Daniel's rye selection happen. We're going to get these here probably in the next few, hopefully probably 3 months, something like that. But we have got a lot of barrel selections that are happening. We have already selected, I think, 16 barrels already for Bourbon Pursuit this year. And I just got word today that we'll also be selecting a Knob Creek Rye and a Knob Creek Bourbon. I have not even added those to the sheet yet. So if you want to get your hands on these barrels, you want to be like these guys that are able to select the barrels with us, come and join us on Patreon, patreon.com/Bourbon Pursuit. I want to say thank you again to you all on the panel, everybody else that's watching, and everybody else in the Patreon community for actually making this happen, because without you all, we wouldn't be able to select barrels. And well, actually, we might be able to select barrels, but we wouldn't have a good podcast without being able to do Patreon. So that is first and foremost the biggest thing for this. So I want to say thank you all so much for your support and being able to make this happen. But with that, I want to say good night, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in, and we will see you all on our next barrel pick. I don't think we don't have a next virtual barrel pick scheduled. However, we do have our next barrel pick scheduled, which is actually going back in person to Wilderness Trail. So COVID be damned, we're going to go in person and make it happen. All right. Cheers, y'all. Good night, and we'll see y'all later.